going first is pretty big against Malcolm, although we don't have... We've got one kill spell, so we better hope this resolves, basically. So this may be our only window to resolve something awesome, so it's going to be Rahilda. This is just crazy if we can get hits with this in. They might think about bouncing this or something, because this just gives us so much value. But Malcolm is intense. It's a very, very intense control build. And they didn't cast anything, which means it's flipped with double strike, which is very interesting, because now it means we get to exile 2 cards from their deck and play any of them. Let's see what they do. Any bouncing or anything does mean we're not going to see Malcolm. Probably one of the most pressurizing starts you can have against them. Oh, wow. And we got a Siren Storm to him and a negate. Wow. And Siren Storm to him blocks the Malcolm. And we have the negate. No, that is... You know what? That has got to be the most satisfying kill against Malcolm I've ever seen in my career. Oh my, if you've seen Malcolm before, you know how annoying this card is. Oh my god. Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're looking at Karlach, Raging Tiefling from the Dungeons and Dragons and Baldur's Gate universe. Now this is not the card you know in paper. This is actually, I think, a lot worse, because it's just a 2-mana 2/2 first strike to start with, but then you can play 6 to specialize her, and then she turns into first strike haste when the specializers you can return her from the graveyard to the battlefield. So it's kind of a very black ability on a red card. It perpetually gains this creature can't block, and when it specializes from any zone, target creature opponent controls can't block this turn. It's okay. I feel as though they really kind of nerfed her. I'm pretty sure the paper one is just so much better because it gives you extra combats and stuff. I don't really know what R&D was doing with this design. It's very confusing, and the fact they changed her ability doesn't make any sense, really, because the paper version would have been just fine. And it's just one of the most confusing things I think I've ever seen Wizards of the Coast do. It's the only set so far that's had Specialize, and I hope we never see it again. But regardless, the character's cool, so if you like the character, this could be the deck for you. The deck itself is pretty tough. Mono red is actually really hard to build, because it just doesn't have that oomph that the other colours seem to have. You struggle with a lot of creatures. The most damage we can deal with a single spell in this deck is 5, and that's with Rebel Salvo, Brittle Blast, and you'll really struggle. Anything with 6 or more toughness, the deck really struggles with, but that is why we have stuff to boost damage. So we have damage boosters. Solfim deals double non-combat damage. Torbran deals damage +2. We also have Defiler of Instinct, which can deal damage +1, basically, whenever you cast a red permanent. Imidane, whenever you target a single creature with an insult sorcery that deals damage, it deals damage to each opponent. This is actually pretty sweet, but red is really... It's a risky colour in 1v1, unless you're going fully Ragavan. Because people just quit to Ragavan because it's so consistent, and it's still in the deck, obviously, but it's tricky. You have to kind of build red very controlly, I think, unless you're going for super hyper aggro, and because Karlach isn't that reliable as a low curve aggro card, you have to support her heavily. The initial build was going to be Karlach and lots of 1 and 2 drops and stuff like Embercleave, which I just don't think works really well. She's just not powerful by herself. She has to die before you even get to look at her secondary ability, and it's 6 mana to specialize, which feels incredibly punishing. I'm just really confused. Sometimes on the channel we come across commanders like this that just baffle me, and they get neglected, and the fact this is a digital only card is even more confusing. They've never touched it, they've never gone back to it, they've never really tried to fix it. It's just really weird. So on weight alone of the character, and the fact people love the character from the game and the D&D game and the video game, is really just pushing us through here. I just wanted to make those characters commander decks for this format. I mean, without her, the deck is pretty strong. It's just a shame we're kind of hamstringing ourselves by not having this as a reliable finisher. A 2-mana 2/2 just ain't really going to cut it. First strike is like, yeah, you could give it swords, but then I just feel like it's not enough. The rest of the deck is going to put a lot of the weight. I think this is one of those decks where the 99 does all the work, and that's going to be where the powerhouse of the cards are. But yes, good luck trying to make her work by herself. Late game, we will suffer. We want to hit them hard, hit them fast with all these things. We do have some pretty cool late game stuff like Chair of the Peaks, Chandra Awakened Inferno, Glorybringer, Goldspan Dragon, all that usual stuff. But yeah, once we run out of steam, and we've been board wiped a few times, it is tough. So we have to get very lucky. We have to get decent matchups. I think we lose automatically to Mono Blue Control because they will just single-handedly, tactically eradicate all of our threats. And blue players know very well now what to get rid of. So we're going to have to hope to get some decent linear aggro matchups. I think we deal very well against other creature decks, to be honest, because we've got the removal. But when we sing a lot of planeswalkers and control spells, that's where we struggle. Let's see how we get on. It's still a fun deck, but yeah, as I said, such a shame what they did to Karlach here. What were they thinking? Wow, I'm keeping his hand just on the sheer fact that we have 4 full art cards here. It's kind of cool. The longer you play the game, the more cool artworks you get. It just looks incredible. And these are just some of my favorite cards in paper as well. Just really wonderful. Prismatic Vista. Just another fetch land to slow the game down. So painful, to be honest. Let's go for Karlach first. When choosing between regular and haste creatures, I like to go for the regular creatures first, because haste kind of negates the fact you didn't play it in the previous turn anyway, being able to attack Catilda. That's something we definitely want to take out. Do we go for 5 and I've got 6? Yeah, I'm just going to swing in. See if we can steal anything good. Steal a Silverback Elder. That's nice to steal from them, to be honest. And let's just get rid of the Catilda there. Get rid of any potential ramping and stuff. 3 damage spell. Just another 3 damage spell added to the format, which is kind of necessary, as crazy as that sounds, because as I said, Mono Red just really needs the help. The 3 toughness there would normally be kind of annoying, but luckily we have the Abrade. We just missed a land drop, which sucks. If we can get like a Land or Elves or something off their deck, that would be wonderful, please. And we get an Uro. Actually, stealing that from their deck's kind of nice as well. So that's exiled forever, so they won't get to use that. Tala's Provisioner. Fetch. Oh, of course, everyone always has a fetch when they play a Provisioner. We're really behind now, so I really would love to get a mountain, please. We have 40 in the deck. Holy crap. It's crazy how playing 1 land gives them 3. Lylea. So that's another chance of drawing a land. And we didn't get one. I think we are in a lot of trouble. I don't know if we can win on sheer weight of aggro coming in. We'll have to see. Do they want to trade? They're probably very tempted. They are actually going to trade. I mean, I shouldn't really complain, because that does give them so much advantage. Why is that face down? Oh, because it's a doom. Right, okay, yeah, it's foretold. So that makes a lot more sense now. They've got 2 mana up. See if we can resolve anything else. Okay, so we can resolve things. So Emodane plus kill spells is pretty good. We just don't have any at the moment. But again, if we draw another land, we can go Chair of the Peaks, Glorybringer, Kellen. So please get a land on top. No land. But we have a Blood Moon, which turns off 1, 2, 3, 4 of their lands. Doesn't turn them off, it just makes them red, which is kind of excellent. So we've basically given them Jeskai. Now, Kellen has lifelink, which is a bit sucky. That's going to be very annoying. But I should feel confident in the fact they don't have any green mana now, because the Blood Moon just completely turned it off. They've foretold another thing. And played another red source. Blimey. Can we resolve Karlach? So if they cast this counter spell or whatever it is, they'll get to play something from their hand for free as well. Behold the multiverse. Gross. So now they can put something into play. Yeah, we've just been really screwed over by not having lands. But to be honest, we've turned their green off, so is it the same thing? I don't know. So I know I could have put this in the graveyard to cast it for 6. Maybe that would have been better, but we don't have the 6 mana. So this is what I mean about Karlach being just a strange design. We actually won. I can't believe that. I just feel like we were behind the whole game. That's crazy. So it could just be one of these days where we keep mulling for Ragavan and top decking good stuff. We'll see. It's one of those weird situations when you're playing mono red. If you have Ragavan in your opening hand, you almost certainly win the game for one way or another. And it is just a strange phenomenon, to be honest, because who in their right mind wants to play against Ragavan? The answer is nobody, unless they have removal. So we'll find out. People normally stay when they have removal, some kind of interaction, like an elf. They've got polluted Delta up, so it could be Fatal Push. Oh, okay. Wow. That's interesting. So we didn't hit anything there. But let's continue to ramp. So we've got 4 mana already on turn 2, which is just pretty broken. But yeah, that's exactly why Ragavan has the price tag he does in paper. And yeah, absolutely brutal. So next turn, we have access to removal, and, you know, if we get a land, even more crazy things, like a bloody Ugin. So we did get a land. Opponent is being very, very cautious. Or just dumbfounded, I guess. I don't know. If you have the removal, you would probably have used it by now, my friend. Who lets a Ragavan go? Or maybe they just haven't faced a Ragavan very much. What are we exiling? Just lands. Okay. Let's try and resolve a Karlach here. Wow, okay. And resolve a Rahilda as well. 1 and 2 mana rares and mythics. I'm quite confident they should all survive, unless they've got something that says all creatures get -2/-2, which is entirely possible. Those cards do exist. They do exist. But if they do that, we still have 6 mana. So we'll probably go for Ugin and then redeploy cards off the top. Risen Reef. That is going to face a Thundering Rebuke. Take him out. Because we don't want that to synergize with the Yurok, because that just goes crazy. Look at all these beautiful things. Primeval Titan, holy poo. I'm glad they're not going to see that. And a Cackling Counterpart, wow. But annoyingly, we've all got legends. Gosh, imagine we had Primeval Titan out and we'd get a copy of that. That's absolutely crazy. These games are going fast today. Okay, this hand is not great. But I've already mulliganed once. And, yeah. We've got a Bolt. So this is going to carry us. There we go, land. It's fine. The 3rd land makes it all fine now. Paradise Druid. Okay. Looks like we're going to have to get 5 lands now. So the burn down the house does all the work. But in the meanwhile, let's play a distraction spell. So if they go for Izuri, I still think we can kill it with the Bolt and find more time for later. Because although this is the end goal here, to kill all their stuff, we need to be able to survive the counters being added to things. So, exactly as I hoped. Again, I still think we play distraction spells. People don't normally respond to Eidolon very well. They want this to die. especially Simic players that might want to play a lot of smaller things. We'll see. They've got 5 mana, so they might not even care at this point. They might care though if we give it Torbran, because then if we play Torbran, every time someone plays a spell that costs 3 or less, it does 4 damage to them, which is significant. Oof. Damn. Interesting. Priest of Titania. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I've never seen Torbran plus Eidolon before. That's crazy. Curiosity. No. Nah, they can have a card. Interesting. Right, now it gets interesting. More damage coming in hot. If they want to kill either of our guys, they have to double block. Ooh. Ooh. So now they can only play one spell that costs a small amount. Interesting. Oh my god, that does 4. That's crazy. That is crazy. Are they serious about this? So now they can't play any small spells. So we just win. This was a crazy game, guys. Very strange. I guess they had another way. The Eidolon did all the damage. That's just berserk. Absolutely berserk amount of damage. So I will keep this hand because we have the Rebel Salvo. So we have a way to deal with the 4 toughness. But yeah, blue-white, always going to be a tricky one. I've already got a legend, which means the Mox Amber taps. It's crazy. That is crazy. Tome of Legends, is that going to resolve? It is. Let's just draw cards. Pretty nice with a 2-mana commander. So if they go for Urza, they're going to now have access to... Oh no, they're completely tapped out. Okay. Apart from the Skrelv giving us... Oh, they're going to have protection. Right, okay. This is a tricky one. I think we'll go for Karlach and draw a card. Because the Skrelv gives him protection, that's kind of annoying. But we don't have to draw it just yet. Maybe it would have been better to go for Cold Steel Heart there and just draw a card. And then we would have had Glorybringer online. Gilded Lotus. Oh dear. And the One Ring. Well, that's going to be very, very difficult to beat. Protection from everything. And they're going to start drawing like crazy. And with Urza, this is very dangerous. Robber of the Rich. And there's nothing in the graveyard, which means the Cemetery Gatekeeper is not going to be that effective. It's such a shame because this would have been stupendously good against their artifacts every time they play them. So we're just going to have to be patient. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So next time we could go for Chandra and then uptick. This is going to be nice energy against the One Ring. To be honest, whenever someone plays a One Ring, my brain kind of turns off because I think it's just insurmountable. All right, okay. And they've got a portal to Phyrexia. Yeah. I think that's it then. They're going to start resurrecting stuff. Call that it. That was a very quick and decisive game there. Portal to Phyrexia that early is insane. Once again with a fire hand. Man, I don't know what this deck is. This deck is so weird. It's actually pretty good, but the commander still lets it down. But the rest of the deck does so much work. We'll see. We've got actually a pretty good curve here. If they play a mana dork, we rebuke it. Nightshade Dryad. Perfect. Target acquired. Death Touch. Why are people playing that? Why are people playing 2 mana dorks? I mean, it's versatile. It is versatile. It's got 3 sentences, basically. But yeah, I just feel like there's 5 1-mana ones already. So... Snapping Void Claw. It's just loads of, like, random rampers. Coming in with a haste. God, commons have got a lot of words these days, haven't they? 3 mana, 1/3, devoid, add 2, and pay 4, draw a card. That's actually kind of good. It's actually kind of good. Oh, wow. And they get a Wren. Holy poop. That's kind of crazy.
My roots touch every world.
Damn, that was a good hit. That was a very, very good hit. And they're going to turn that into a creature until...
Break free and
Okay.
fight.
Vigilance, hexproof, haste. Interesting. Let's see what happens here. Do they want to lose the land, or do they want to lose the Wren? Or do they just want to block with the emoti? That's interesting. They don't mind losing it. Wow. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, this gives them 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They've got 6. Bloody hell, if they play land, they've got 7 mana already. That's kind of scary. They've got so much mana up. Let's see if they counter this. Is it going to be a 6 mana counter spell? What's it going to be? Emoti, Prop 69. Okay. Interesting. So it was, okay. So they're going to counter it. Oh, you know what? This actually works out really well, because now our Sweltering Suns deals incredible amounts of damage to them. We're going to decline it for the first time. They're not going to be happy about this, are they? Just wipe out all the creatures casually. With the Sweltering Suns. Actually worked out pretty good. I mean, even Torbran says their stuff, so he would have survived that anyway. But still, we got pretty lucky there. +2 damage as well, damn. Crazy good. That was a lucky turn for us. That was the best turn to be Sublime Epiphany, to be perfectly honest, because the long-term effects were very minimal. Fanatic of Ronus. Okay. Is that concerning? Not by itself. They're just going to gain life. Fair enough. Storm's Wrath. Yeah, let's cast that from the graveyard for the first time. We have to discard a card. We'll get rid of Artist's Talent, I think. So the Fanatic cannot block. That's already got haste. Wait, does that say they can't block? Yeah, I think it did. It just doesn't say it on the card, weirdly enough. This creature can't block. When this card specializes, target creature opponent controls can't block this turn. Interestingly, it didn't have any indication of that, though. There weren't any markers on that card. So, the only annoying thing is now is Burn Down the House is very ineffective if you want to wipe. Nyx Bloom Ancient. Ugh. We could just wipe out their field. We could. Specializes from your graveyard. What if we just do this? So, red source, so that's going to deal extra. Pretty confident this is a good attack. We all deal +2 with the Torbran. So if they don't block, they die. 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so they just didn't block. This deck is actually nuts. What have I created? And even though the commander's terrible, somehow it's a really good deck. I'm so confused. This is kind of the first time I felt this way about this kind of situation. Karlach is bad, but the rest of the deck is fire? I don't know what to say. Did you know that you can help my channel by watching another one of my videos? Go ahead, you know you want to.